Hi everybody, and welcome back to Glorious Crafts. Today I'm going to be doing a couple things for like a dollhouse. And I think I'm going to try to build a dollhouse out of cardboard. But I'd like to make some of the items that would go inside the dollhouse. So we're going to get started. And most of the stuff you can get from home that we're going to be using. First item for our miniature dollhouse, you're going to take an ordinary toothbrush and you're going to need a box cutter, and you're going to cut your toothbrush. It's going to take a bit, but you want to cut it, okay? And I just cut it a little and then it broke off. So you're going to want to get this extra piece off. Be careful not to cut yourself. But you're going to want this piece off. I'm not sure if I can cut it off with scissors. Yes, I can. So, here it is. Now, I have a nail file. And I'm going to file this down so that it will be rounded on both sides. I don't know if I can cut a little closer. Not so much. The scissors really don't go through there. But I'd like it a little closer, and it just flung across the room. So I did get it off. So, nail file. This is one of those acrylic nail files for acrylic nails. Not so bad to use for this. I'm using an older one because I didn't want to use a new one. So you just want to basically smooth it out. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to get paint, and I'm going to paint this before I put the stick on. And this will be a broom for your dollhouse. So I am going to get paint and paint the bottom half of my broom, and then we will start on finishing this and getting more done. So for right now, that's all I'm doing, is trying to file down the toothbrush. I'm going to be making a broom for our miniature dollhouse. So I'm going to get my paints and paint this and be right back. Here's the broom. I painted it silver. Okay, so there's the broom. It's still a little wet. And then I took a straw and I painted that silver. And that's going to be the handle to my broom when it dries, just like this. So I have to wait for both of those items to dry. So I'm going to make a dustpan, and I just cut a little piece of cardboard, and I'm going to paint it silver, and I'm going to add one of these skewers on here. I'm going to stab it in here and bring it up some to be the dustpan, and paint this silver and cut this because it doesn't need to be that big, and show you what that looks like. I cut the straw in half, and for the most part my broom is done. So I'm going to add hot glue in the hole, right like that, and then put it on my broom. Just going to hold down a little bit. So here's my broom. Okay? Don't think the paint is totally dry, so I'm going to have to wait a little longer, but that's basically what you're going to do is put hot glue on the bottom and push it onto your broom like so, and now you have a miniature broom for your miniature dollhouse. For your dustpan, I painted it, and here it is. I'm going to paint the stick a little more so that you can see the dustpan is completely done. Let me just grab a little bit of paint and paint up here. You can make everything whatever color you'd like. I am not sure how or what color I'd like my house to be, but right now I'm just trying to make miniature items for inside the house. So here's my dustpan, my Barbie dustpan, and you saw the broom. So for the next thing I'm going to do, so for this part I have this mold, and you could actually fill it with air dry clay, but it'll take 24 hours. So I am filling this mold right here with hot glue. So you're just going to fill the entire mold. Wherever you have an indent or a problem, just continually fill it. Okay? And I'm going to eventually, when this gets hard, take it out, show you what it looks like, and then paint it whatever color I desire. And I'm thinking of putting like tinfoil behind it to be like a little mirror. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Now for the next item. I believe that when you're making these products for your little dollhouse, it's the extra things that would make your miniature dollhouse the best dollhouse ever. So I'm pretty excited to show you how to make little books. So what I did was I went and got some sales books or whatever, and this is How to Babysit Grandpa, and this is a Peanuts book, and then I took regular brown paper and put that on the back. But I'm thinking I'd like to add a couple little pieces of like loose leaf in here to make it look more like a book. So I'm going to do that and show you that. I took a piece of paper and folded it several times. I'm going to take my Peanuts part of the book and I'm going to cut around my book. Well, the cover of the book. So I have folded pages here. Folded pages. Which is kind of awesome. Okay? So I have the folded pages. I have the cover. Now you don't want your pages bigger than your book. So I'm going to have to trim this up a bit. Let's make sure that it's perfectly perfect. Bring it back some because I'd like them a little shorter than my cover. So I have my cover and then I have my back. Okay? So you have your piece of paper on the back and your cover. Okay? I'm going to get a stapler and staple the middle, and so you have all your pages here. Take your stapler, staple right in the middle as best you can, just like that. So now you can open the pages. So for the cover, I have my little Peanuts thing, and I'm going to take Mod Podge. And I have a paintbrush, and I am going to Mod Podge the entire little book, the cover, so I can put my Peanuts cover right on top. Just like that. Just like that. And then for the back cover, I am going to put some of this paper on there, the brown paper I have. So it's all in the detail. And then put this right on here. Just like that. So now you have a little Peanuts book. How cute is that? I'm going to show you again with how to babysit Grandpa. So I folded over my pages several times. And now I'm going to trace Grandpa. How to babysit Grandpa. And cut. And cut. So these unfortunately are separate pages, which is fine. I'm going to show you another way to make a book. So of course you take the first page that you have and you put the Mod Podge on it. Put it right on there, just like that. How cute is that? Now you take another piece of paper, since none of them are connected, put Mod Podge on this, or any glue you have. It could be Elmer's glue, I don't care. Whatever glue is your happy glue, use that. And put this right here. Okay, now see how I have the white sticking out? Well, no fear. Just cut it off. These scissors are not my friend today. I'm going to have to get other scissors. Okay. So, there you go. That's the back and the front. So, my thought is, let me get more scissors, different scissors. My thought is taking one of these, which is part of a skewer, and taking your pages, just like this. Now this is going to take hot glue, not Mod Podge. So you put your book together just like this, okay? Then, make sure it's all straight and everything. Take your hot glue and put a little bit down the side, just like that, and then stick it to this lovely skewer. And you're going to have to wait, of course. And if it's not all glued, put some more on it. Break the little piece off, and now you have another book right here. These two pages are stuck together, of course. Hold on one moment. My pages right here are stuck together. So here's a little book. Cuteness overload. Okay, so here's two different books for your decor. Now we're going to check on our frame. I believe it's done. And it turned out pretty sweet. Hold on one second. Here it is. Paint it any color you like. Put some tin foil behind it. Clean up these edges with your X-Acto knife. And you got yourself a cute little mirror frame or a picture frame, whatever you like. Easy peasy. If you don't have the clay, you've now made one out of hot glue. So we'll get back to that. Now we're going to work on a little bit more of the decor. And I have a couple things that are just sitting here. You ever get these little velvety, adorable little bags that you don't know what to do with when you're done? Well, I'm going to use this to make a beanbag chair for Barbie or my little doll. So I have some cushion or stuffing to make it a cushion, and just shove it in there like that. Tie it like that. I'm going to tie it. Just like that. Cut all the ends off. A little beanbag chair for your dolls. Easy peasy. Now, when you go in and you're looking through magazines and you're looking at items and you're seeing things that you think are cute that you could use in your dollhouse, you are correct. You can. So I cut out some of these items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a floor mat. But first, I have to make it even because it is not even at all. So I need to get my rotary blade because I want to make this even. So I'm going to go right across here. Do it a little bit more right here. So this is going to be my floor mat when you come to my house, in my little dollhouse. Okay? So I have some popsicle sticks, and I am going to put Mod Podge on the back of my doormat. And then I'm going to take the popsicle sticks and, oh my goodness, line it up, top to bottom, just like that, and go all the way down with my popsicle sticks, lining it up. I'm going to cut the other ones. But for right now, I need to give my doormat, my welcome mat, whatever you'd like to call it, some stability. So I am putting on popsicle sticks, just like this. Okay? Then, oh my goodness, I'm having an issue. Oh, there we go. So here they are, not done yet because that's not firm enough. So taking my Mod Podge and coating the back. See? Coating the back so that when this dries, it'll dry secure and you'll have a cute little doormat for your dollhouse. Push these down some, they're up too high. So that's going to take a little bit to dry. which is fine. We're good. We have other items to do. So same premise as the mat. I have a welcome sign that I think would look cute on the wall inside my house, of my dollhouse. I don't like the frame here, but I'm going to keep the checked frame part here where it's checked, and I'm going to cut this as best I can. It's not very even. Okay, so here's your welcome. And I'm going to take 2 popsicle sticks, same premise as the doormat that is drying. Turn it over, put Mod Podge on it, and then put my popsicle sticks on the back. So again, Mod Podge on the whole entire back. Take your popsicle sticks. Now this is going to curl up because, you know, it's a piece of magazine. So try to do it as quickly as you can. I'm going to put one on each side where it is. Whoopsie. Just like that. So here's my welcome sign. Now I'm going to Mod Podge this again on the back. Now that's going to have to dry. But this is all just extra for your dollhouse. So right now these are going to dry, and I'm going to do the same for this clock and this picture and this other picture and this other doormat. I'm going to make it so that I have stuff to put on the wall in my dollhouse, and I have floor mats and items like that. So I'm going to get to that, come back and show you. Hopefully things will start drying so we can move on to other fun things. Now I'm going to make a vacuum out of this paint bottle. So basically I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to use this end, and this is going to be my bucket for my bucket of water. So let me get my X-Acto knife. Here it is. And it still has some paint in there. I tried to wash it out. It did not come off. So I'm figuring once I get this cut in half, I can then clean it out some more. So right now, all I'm doing is cutting this in half. Which is a pain in the tush, of course. So here it is. Take your scissors and cut. So I just want this bottom end, because this is going to be the canister for our vacuum. So I'm going to go wash this out again, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to work on how to make this a vacuum. Doesn't have to be perfectly perfect because we're going to paint it anyway. So here's the 1/2. Try to make it as even as possible. And then I got a piece of cardboard. So I am going to flip this over just like this and glue around the entire piece of cardboard. Watch you don't burn your hands. You want that opening covered, the opening. So basically you just want the entire opening covered, and once this dries, then you're going to start cutting it. So you're going to need some clay, and I have air dry clay. I got from Amazon. And this is going to, one, you're also going to need a razor that you have in your house. You're going to need this, but you don't want your little people to get a cut. So I'm going to take some of my clay, which will take 24 hours for it to harden, and I'm going to put it over the blades on this razor, because you want little fingers safe. So in 24 hours this will be hard, and you can paint it and everything. So I believe that after 24 hours this will be safe. We will find out after 24 hours is up. But you want to cover all of the blades as best you can. And as you see, I'm tucking it into where the blades would be, because this is going to be part of our vacuum also. So, but you don't want little people to be hurt. And I thought about putting like crazy glue or something on it, and then hot glue, but they can peel that off. So I'm thinking with a layer of the clay, and then with the paint and all, hopefully they won't even notice to mess with this. You want to cut off these little things on the back, which of course they're not coming off for me, but you want to cut them off because this is going to be part of your vacuum. Okay? Now, I'm using brown. You can use whatever color you want, whatever color you have. I am going to be making wheels for my vacuum. They're not going to spin, but I need wheels. So I am manipulating the clay, and now I have a round ball. Now you can use wooden balls. You can use whatever you'd like, but this is what I have right here. So this is what I'm using. So I'm going to make 4 little wheels this exact size. And I'm going to cut this and cut part of my razor blade, and I will be back. Here's the bottom half of the paint container. Now you want to make sure every bit of glue is off, okay? Then I'm taking a popsicle stick and I'm going to glue this on here, but first I want to get rid of as much as humanly possible of the extra. And to make this smooth, I took a nail file. Almost forgot to tell you that. But you want to be careful not to break this. So I am just cutting a little bit at a time, because I want this as small as possible, or more accurate to the size I need it to be, so that I can file it down when I'm done. So I'm just using my box cutter to make impressions. I don't want to break it like I just did, which now I'm going to need to glue that, but that's okay. I'm going to make it work. So this piece fell off, and we're going to use that with glue. So there we go. Now here is our, I'm going to make these the exact same spot. Yes, here is the part of the vacuum we're going to use. So I'm going to go around with a little bit of glue. I don't want a lot of glue coming out of the area, so I am putting the least amount of glue as I possibly can. Now I'm going to put the one piece on and cover what I can, and then the other piece on the other side and cover what I can. So I'm going to glue it again so that I can make sure that everything is firm, and then when it's totally glued together, I am then going to start sanding down these sides. I cut the lid off of the top of my bottle, so it would just be this top part. I cut that off, and here, this is going to be a pot, okay? So what I need to do, we're still working on the vacuum, have not stopped with the vacuum, it's just not done yet. So I need to make a bottom for this. So basically what I'm going to do is put it down and try to fill up this area with hot glue. Now, usually hot glue will go down, and I'm using this stick that I have for my clay because I need this entire hole filled with hot glue. So right now I am mixing it around. You can put this on wax paper or anything you'd like. So see how it's not totally firm? Now I'm going to try on this side to put my hot glue on here. So I just want to fill in this hole. So I'm taking my hot glue and I am going all the way around my pot. Now I'm going to want this flat, so I believe that when it's done, I will then take my nail file and file it down. So I took my straw and my razor that I covered, and it's just like this. This is part of the vacuum. I was going to cut these off, but I think it looks more like a vacuum this way. I'm going to add a little bit more of the hot glue. I do have E6000 on this, and then I'm going to paint it all the way down, but right now I need for the hot glue to dry. So here is, oh my Lanta, where is, here it is. Okay, here is my base of my pot that will be my vacuum. So right now, still working on the vacuum, still having it dry, and let me see if this little lady is done yet. Okay, so this is done because this is dry. So I'm going to take this cord that I had to make our beanbag chair, and I'm going to glue this cord into this hole and put it in this hole, part of our vacuum. So here it is. Going to put it right in here. Watch you don't burn your fingers. You want to twist it the way it twists because you don't want it to unravel, and put it in. So I have this little thing here. There we go. So here's my cord to my vacuum. I'm going to paint this some more and wait for my vacuum to dry, but my vacuum's coming along nicely. So we're going to then, with the lid of the paint, here it is, the lid. I painted it gray or silver, and I'm going to add some flowers. I have my hot glue, so I am going to just start putting hot glue inside my pot. Then I'm going to take my flowers, put them in there. You can build it up more. It's entirely up to you how you want this. And I'm going to add some more so that I make sure that that one little area has hot glue. And this is also going to be my dirt. So I'm glad I'm building it up because I'm going to paint it brown to be my dirt. So here she is. I'm going to build up some more over here. So this is going to be a house plant for my dollhouse. And then I'm going to take, like I said, brown paint and paint the glue. But here it is. Isn't that cute? Easy peasy. Now you have a little piece of pottery for your house. So there's that. Still waiting on my tube to dry. I just am painting it, trying to get it all the metallic silver color all around. So that's what's taken forever to dry. So now I think we should work on like a fruit bowl and some fruit while we're waiting. And that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But before that, I forgot. We're going to need a cord to plug in for our vacuum. So take more of this. Get your white clay. You just need a little piece, but I need to work with this. So I have a little piece, right? Little piece. Just working with it. It's a little askew. Sorry about that. Falling off. Okay. So you just work with it. And then I just want to roll it out some because this hasn't been used in a while. And I'm going to be making a plug for my vacuum. So I am kind of mushing it down, sort of, just like that. And I have wire right here. So I am going to take my wire and find my wire implements. Here they are. This is very, very thin wire. So I am going to push this together. Push it together. Push it together. And I'm going to use this end, not the pointy end, to be part of my... Oh my goodness, where did it shoot off to? It shot off somewhere, everybody. Okay, well, we'll try it again because I misplaced the other one. But basically, I'm just going to fold this in half, just like this. And then I'm going to take my wire things, implements, take my wire. This is a little long, so I'm going to hold on to this piece so I don't lose it. And I don't want little people to be stuck or anything, so I'm going to use the rounded part for the outside and pushing this in. And then I'll have to do, oh my goodness, I'm going to do another one so that it'll have two of the prongs to put into your outlet. So let me make another one real quick. Basically, fold it over on itself as best you can. Just like that. Cut the one end that you don't need so much of. And then push this right in to here. So these are our plug. This is our plug. Now, once this hardens, it'll be perfect. But this is going to be our plug. Now, we have this string that we had from our, oh my goodness, our beanbag chair. So I'm going to take this string and I'm going to lay it on top of our plug. Now I'm going to get some more white and I'm going to build up a little bit the cord and the plug itself so that it's firmer and has more to hold on to. I am eventually going to cut this a bit, but right now I am just trying to get it together with the cord attachment right here. And so can you see? There's the little plugs and here's our cord. Going to move this around. So there, looks more like a cord for your vacuum. Going to cover this up some more. It's going to take 24 hours to dry, which what else is new? And it kind of stinks because either I could do this stuff before, but then how do I show you how to do it? Or I do it now and then it just takes forever just to do a simple craft, but it takes forever. So here's our cord. It's starting to become extremely long, our plug. So I'm going to have to cut that down some and get rid of it. But this is going to be our plug right here. And I think it's cute. So I'm going to cut it down. Not cut it, actually. I'm just going to take off with this. I'm going to show you what I mean. I want this to be a little square. So I'm going to take off some here of the white. Some over here of the white. And it's very, very long, which we don't want that. And so take this off here. So we just want this to be a tiny cord plug, not a ginormous plug. So here it is. I'm going to try and make it smaller. Looks like my batteries need to be charged again. So I'm going to work on that and then I'll come back and we'll get busy getting busy. Okay, for this vacuum piece, I tried to paint it. That was just a pain in the butt. So I used duct tape, the silver duct tape. And I wrapped the entire thing. Then I took a cap from a water bottle and I painted it. So I'm going to put that right on the front. So I'm going to put some hot glue around. Try to center this. Put it right on my vacuum. Right like that. Okay? Now I have the 3 wheels that I made yesterday that are now hard. They're air dry clay. So I am going to put one in the front. So put some hot glue there. Put one in the front. And then I'm going to put two in the back. Okay, I had it backwards, sorry. So, here we go. One in the front, two in the back, that's our vacuum. Right there. Now, here is our vacuum. So, I showed you how to put this together. Now I'm going to glue this on right here. So there's that for right now, for our vacuum. And here's our cord. I'm going to go to the back, see? And I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Take our cord, put it right in there. Just like that. So we have our cord to the front of our vacuum and then the plug. So the vacuum is finally done, which I think it looks really cute for a miniature vacuum. You can make this smaller if you'd like, but I was thinking Barbie, you know. Okay, on to the next project. Now, okay, I wanted to make some herbs and stuff to hang in the house. So I have these different leaves from leftover flowers I have. I also have this wire and some twine. So what I'm going to do is try to figure out how many leaves and all I'd like, but I want them to be different. So I'm going to take off some of these leaves. This is very large. We don't want that. So here's one. And I'd like to add extra of different items. So I have this, and I'm thinking of cutting some of these off right at the stem. And I'd like to put these together just like this. Okay. Just like that. I don't know what I'm doing with this yet, but I have this. So I am going to put some glue on the end. A little dab will do ya. And wait a little bit for this to dry. So this is going to be an herb. But for right now, I am just trying to keep these little pine leaves together. So here they are. You can add as many as you like. Then I'm going to take some twine, Gonna add a little bit more glue down here and start wrapping a little bit of twine around. Not as easy as you would think to wrap twine around a little tiny thing. That is not working. So maybe I might add just some string, but let me check. Let me see how I feel when I try this one more time. I got to at least give it another try. So a little more right there. This piece is coming apart. There we go. And if this doesn't work with me wrapping it with this, I can always just put a little bow on it. But we shall see. So, wrap around, wrap around. Okay. That's good. A little bit more glue over here. And then just push this down. Not the greatest, but it is what it is. Then I'm going to take a piece of twine and put some glue up here, put the twine in the middle, right like that, so it looks like it's wrapped. You know what? I'm going to make this into like a little circle so I can hang this up inside my house, wherever, on the porch of my little dollhouse. So I believe I need a little bit more of these little wispies because they're falling out. So I'm going to get a little bit more glue, just stick it right in that hole there. And put that little guy right there. And got some more I'm going to put on here. I just don't want it to look sparse, you know. It has a little hooky thing here. And so that's one thing of herbs. Now I have some lavender flower here, and I don't need all of this, so I'm just going to cut a little piece off right here, and I'm going to add some string to this. Put it in a little loop. Add glue. Put it on there. I might add some ribbons to these, but we shall see. I'm going to take some of this, which is kind of cool and looks like it would be some herbs. Take off some of these extra, so right like that, and I'm going to add this flower to it also. So now I've got more than one together. I'm going to glue these little jobbies together. And I'm going to also get a little bit of twine. And see if I could wrap this around. So this little guy just fell. So we got to put him in here, just like that. And squunch it, squunch it, squunch it when it's not too hot. And I believe I could just cut that and stick it this way. So I believe I'm going to be adding, bows to these. But here is a couple different flowers / herbs that you could hang in your house somewhere or whatever you're making. So let me try little bows. Basically, I'm just making 2 loops, 2 tiny loops, and putting one through the other, just like that, and pull. And here's one bow, and then cut. I think this spruces it up a little bit. And I'm going to put it right here. So put some glue, take your little bow, whatever side you like the best, and put it on there, and that is really kind of cute. So that's one. And here's another one, same thing, same premise. 2 little bows, 2 little circles. One around the other. Just like that. Pull it through. And cut. Now, the bow overshadows. So I'm thinking I'd like to add a little bit more to my little area here. So I have some of this. But let's see. Thinking right like that. Let me put the bow on first, and then we'll figure out where we want the other flowers to actually go. So put the bow on. There's the bow. Now you can get a lighter. Now if you're not old enough to use a lighter, please don't get a lighter to burn these wispies off, because there's a lot of wispies. It's your choice. So I'm going to add another flower on here, just right like that. And I think this is a cute leaf, so I'm going to put that in here also, just like that. And then this is done. Definitely gonna have to get a lighter to get rid of that wispies. This, not so big, but let's figure out how it looks once we get our bow on. So 2 little loops. Pull one through the other. Just like that. Here we go. Cutest bow ever. Cut this. put this on here, which makes it look better actually because it's kind of like junked up. So let's put this bow here and figure out what else we're going to do. I'm thinking more of these little pine things on here and maybe some of these because I have these. So let's see. Let's take some of these right here off and add this to here, which will make it look fuller. That looks much better. See how it's longer and hanging down? I'm going to add a little bit of more of the green ones on this side because it doesn't look full enough. So just like before, I'm just going to cut down these leaves and wheedle them together to create a little plant. So here's this. Get some glue here on these little jobbies and put them right there, right in there, and add some more. Just going right in right there because I don't want a lot of glue, I just want a little. There, that looks much better with it down like that. Okay? So that's how you make some herbs and stuff for your house, whatever you want to call it. I'm thinking, because I had made the other day those adorable little fairies, I think I want to make them a house. But I want to finish making some odds and ends for houses before I get started on my fairy house. And I'm pretty excited about it because I used to love dollhouses when I was little. Honest to goodness. So I have, hold on 1 second, and of course I dropped my glue gun. I went outside and I got some sticks because I'd like to make a ladder. Okay? I did this in my manger that I made, and it was a lot of fun because you're using things that are in your yard and at your house and you're not spending money on it, and I am a big fan of not spending money right now. So I am going to take my ginormous wire cutters and cut 2 pieces about the same length. Okay, so here's my 2 pieces right here, about the same length. You can make it as big or as little as you like, but I'm thinking I would like this to be long due to the fact that I want to literally make a fairy house, and I'm thinking they might need a ladder to get up to inside their house. So I have the 2 pieces of twig, and I'm going to start cutting about, you know, 1.5 inches or so. Does not have to be perfect. I'm going to make it this big. So let's see. This is about, let me see, 2.5 inches. Because you know, it could be wide. It doesn't have to be wide. It's entirely up to you. So, just like that. So I'm going to continue cutting, guesstimating Doesn't have to be perfect. Just making these for the steps for my ladder. I want them about the same length, give or take. And eyeballing it seems to be doing good. So that one's a little small, so I'm going to have to make the next one bigger. There we go. There we go. Okay. This is easy, so easy to do. And I think it would add character. And even if you didn't want to make a ladder for somebody to go up, you can have the ladder in your house and put some fabric over it, you know, in your little dollhouse, and like drape fabric over it. So here's my little sticks. Here's my sticks that I want to use. Get it to where you like how far apart it is. Okay? Now, using hot glue, I am going to glue on, I'm going to start up here so you can see the pieces. Okay? You can have them as close together or as far apart as you'd like. It's entirely up to you. So I am just eyeballing pretty much everything. And I think this is very whimsical. I think it's adorable. Big fan, big fan. So, and I like that I'm using materials from my yard because let me tell you, I have a lot of sticks in my yard. So once you're done putting all your pieces on and you think that it's good enough, or maybe you need to add some more, it's your choice. No rhyme or reason to your ladder. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay? So here's my ladder. Now I'm going to reinforce all of the little sticks going across, and then when I'm done, I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to do each individual piece with twine. But first I need to reinforce. So I'm going to go over here and do down one side. Every individual piece of my ladder so that it will be secure. Now I'm going to go down. I turned it around. Now I'm going to go down the other side. Okay. Oh my goodness, this one's a little jobby. My dog is barking. I don't know if you can hear him. He apparently misses me. I must go get him. So I'm going to let that dry and be right back. So here's our ladder. Now we're going to turn it over and we're going to add some of this twine. So I'm just putting it kind of inside. I don't want a lot of glue, but if you get a lot, that's okay. It's not a big deal. So basically I'm going to hold this here and try not to mess up my I knocked it off by my man hands. So some glue right here at the top, and then put the twine in there. See how it's in there? It is in there. Now I'm going to cut a piece, and basically I am going to use my little spatula thing that I have to push this down. Okay, now all you're going to do is take it and wrap it around the one side. Okay? So once you have that wrapped, you're going to want to glue it again. Now you can make this really fancy schmancy, but now that I'm thinking I'd like to make my fairies a home, I don't want to. I want it to be whimsical. So that's what I'm going for right now, a whimsical look. So here's one. Now I'm going to, this is supposed to go over this, just like that, but apparently it's not panning out for me. Okay, there we go. See how that is? That's how you want it. Now, you're going to want to like crisscross it. Okay? So, I'm going to put some here, and then I'll go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, actually, yeah, this way. Okay? So, a little bit more glue right there. It's a lot of glue, not a little bit. Right there. Take my little spatula. Shuck that right in there. Right in there. Just don't want to burn my hand. And then once it is adhered, you just want to do that 3 times, 4 times, whatever makes you happy. But I don't think I need more than 2 or 3 times around. So cut that. So I'm thinking 2 or 3 times around for my rope. Twine around each nub of my ladder. Okay, so there's one. This is what I'm going to do, get all the way down. Here's the ladder, all done. Okay, so here's some pictures that I have, and I took some skewers and I painted them brown, and now what I'm going to do is frame out my picture with the skewers. Put that down. So I am going to frame out my picture. I'm going to do 2 of the exact same size. Oh, and that'll be for the top and the bottom. And let's see how long this one is. Right to about there. Do 2 of them. That's one. Do the other one the same length. So I have 2 of these. We're on here. And then I need 2 of the same size for the sides. So I don't want this point part, so I'm going to cut that off, and I have this to about here. So take your nail file if you'd like to flatten that out. And so I need 2 of these to about here. That shot across the room. Seriously. I have no idea where that went. Son of a gun. Okay, try it again. So let's see. This one, it will be this one. So we're going to try not to lose this one this time. So I'm going to hold the little end so it doesn't shoot across the room. Okay, so that's 2 of them, and then I need 2 little ones. So I'm thinking about this size, and do this twice. Hold the ends where you want the piece that you're cutting. Now, I am going to start putting this together. I'm going to go across the top with the glue, and I'm not exactly sure. There's one right across the top, right there. It's a cute little bike. Now I'm going to do the bottom. Let's see if I have enough. Yes, that is perfect. And I'm going to put this right on the edge, right here. And put this here, just like that. Now, I had difficulty cutting this, so I am going to put these other pieces kind of on the inside-ish, and then I'm going to take my file, my nail file, and file that down. But for right now, I am just putting this together. Be careful not to burn yourself. And then this side, you want to go straight down. And there you go. There's your picture. That's one. Now for this, you want to go down the side and take your stick right here and put that on there, and then go down the other side and put this stick here. And then the 2 little ones on the bottom. One there. And then it makes your picture look a little bit more done. So there's your picture. So that's done. Now, earlier, when we started this video, I was saying to take a piece of the paper and put it on a popsicle stick to make a rug. This is not a good idea. The reason I'm saying that is it gets a lot of bumps and everything in it, so I'm thinking if I'm going to make a rug or curtains or anything that I need fabric, I'm going to use fabric. I do not suggest you using paper and Mod Podge because this did not pan out well. Now, the very last craft I'm going to make is going to be a little broom. So, I'm going to file that down with my, nail file. And I have raffia. So, I am going to just back and forth with the raffia for right now, because this is going to be a whimsical broom for my fairies. So I'm just going back and forth, okay? Just back and forth. Now, once you think it's at the desired thickness that you'd like, you're going to take your raffia that is still attached and wrap it around, just like that, okay? Now, what I need to do is, one, put a little bit of glue on here and wrap that around a couple more times to make it secure. So here it is. Okay. Now I'm going to cut it. So here's the bottom. So basically I am cutting all the loops to make it wispy for the broom. Now I have my little stick, which I am going to stick in here, and I am going to add, I'm going to cut some of this off. I don't like it. It's too big. So I cut that off. And I'm going to take my stick and I'm going to put it right in there, but I'd like to add some hot glue. So I'm going to add it to my stick and then stick my stick right in the middle, just like that, to make my broom. You can clean up your broom as much as you'd like. Mine's a little wonky, so I'm going to have a little bit of a point to it. How cute is that? Now I'm going to paint the stick brown, the rest of the stick, and then you have a little broom, a raffia broom to sweep your porch. So I'm going to come back and show you everything we've made, and just give me a couple minutes to get that together and paint the bottom or the rest of this stick. So here's everything we made. We made 2 pictures for a miniature house right here and a cute little clock. We just took this out of a magazine and put it on some cardboard, on a popsicle stick. And we've made 3 very adorable hanging herbs, plants. So we have 3 pictures for the wall and some hanging herbs, an adorable little flower pot right here. We have this really cute little broom that is for outside, and it's still wet, as you can see on my hands, but I painted a little bit of brown on the bottom of that. Here is our ladder. This is the picture frame that we made from hot glue. I painted it, and then I put tinfoil on it to make it a mirror. Here's our broom. Our dustpan. So there's our broom and our dustpan. Our vacuum, which is pretty snazzy, I gotta say, pretty snazzy vacuum. Pretty snazzy vacuum. And 2 different books. 2 different books. And our, oh my goodness, think of what it would be called. Beanbag chair. Our beanbag chair. Very simple. And I have this cute little welcome sign that could go out front or on the porch of your house, just leaning up against something. So these are all the items that we've made. Thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed day. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.